What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. You guys know the deal. Make sure you guys please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Today we are doing our midweek recap. So I have a few stocks, the S&P 500, EQT, Apple, Tesla, and ABBV that we'll be talking today about and we'll be going through. So starting with the S&P 500 today, it is Tuesday night, August 30th, 2022. And we have an S&P 500 that's trading around 400, just south of 400. Pulling up the daily chart here, another big volume day, which is quite interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make of it yet, but if we zoom on the daily, it's hard to really say exactly what's going on. But if we zoom in here on the hourly, this is where we can really see kind of what's going on. So you can see down here, right, where I'm highlighting, this volume has been ticking up to the sell side ever since, here, about 8:25, August 25th. We've been seeing sellers ever since. So the selling is heavy, and it has been coming in, and you can see, we've had similar moments like this in time. Here was, 6/3/2022, around this time we had sellers start to come in, and you can see down here on the bottom when the sellers came in, they pushed the price down from 408 all the way down to 360 in a matter of a couple weeks. So that's quite interesting. This was a pretty clear head and shoulders pattern and a really strong break down. So you can see shoulder, right, head, and shoulder, and you got a break on nice volume, which tells me this thing probably is going to continue lower. There's probably going to be continuation on this. Now, if you remember from a Sunday sector recap, I thought the mid 390s, 393-ish, this area I thought was likely, but I would not rule out a return down here to the high 370s, just because that's a pretty strong volume node area that price could say that, but 390 is going to be a big level, so pay attention to that. As far as the rest of the week goes, we've moved a lot pretty quick. It's hard to say really where it's going to go from here. This is kind of one of those areas where you're in between. You really don't want to, me personally, I don't really want to be in a trade when I'm in the middle. Now the good spots to be in, we're up here now. We're at 430, where we were also near weekly trend line, which I did point out. And since then we had a move from 430 all the way down to 400, so that's a massive move. Contracts, if you caught that move, probably 500-600% moves on those contracts. All right, now moving into a name that I'm watching closely here, EQT. This is a natural gas name, so this is kind of a play on natural gas. Natural gas is coming into a strong seasonal period starting about next week, and it'll go into towards the end of October and early November. So I am looking to play this push over highs, ideally over up into 60. I am not quite long yet because I think we can come down a little bit more, but this is a very interesting name that I'm watching closely. And if you can see, you see how this broke out here before, right? So we had push, we had kind of a cup. This is a cup and handle is what it really is. This will be your handle, something like that. It's not an exact trend line, but you got to just see the idea. And then the cup, is right there, right? That's your cup and handle, and you had a nice move. And now if you'll see what's going on here, it almost looks like something similar. This whole thing could be forming the cup right now, and we could push and then pull back and consolidate some and then push some more. So that's kind of something that I'll be watching for. But I do think that this thing is going to put in some new yearly highs. I would like it to come down a little bit more even, but today it came down and tested this prior level, right? And so I'm going to be watching down here. It's already in a decent spot, but watching into this 42, 43. Now moving on to Apple. and Apple is, I think it's kind of just trading sideways. I don't think it's, personally, I don't believe that this thing is going to be pushing for new highs anytime soon. I think it's got a better chance of revisiting down here than it does of pushing over highs. But that's just me. That's what I believe. So moving on to Tesla, and I'm going to pop up a Discord name of the gentleman who wanted the, person who wanted me to look at Tesla. So they were talking about the volume, pay attention to the volume. And, from what I can, okay, strictly looking at the volume then, let's do that. We had all this down here, clearly accumulation. So this is all clearly accumulation. But now, what you see here is a push out, right? So we pushed out, and then we traded sideways, right? And now look at the volume, right? Do you see this volume? That's really low. That's really low volume. So was this accumulation? Now is this distribution? That's probably what I would lean towards. Strictly based off this volume, this is, if any sellers come back at all into this name, it's going down quickly. When you have, this type of volume. So, and when are their earnings? Earnings are, what is that? Not till, it's at October, so nothing to worry about there. But to me, if we're looking at the daily chart, the volume's dying. So, it is August. August is always lower volume. So when September starts rolling in here, which it is, you're going to start to find more volume. And now is that volume going to be buyers or is that volume going to be sellers? That's the question that you have to ask. What's the bull case on it? Well, the company's growth is the bull case, but is it going to sustain that growth if the economy continues to head lower, as we're jacking up rates? I don't know. Me personally, I don't really believe that we're going to see highs really anytime soon on a lot of these names. That's just my opinion. However, I am bullish on the name of Tesla and as an investor in Tesla. So I do like the company. I believe in Elon. I believe in their software. I believe in their artificial intelligence. I believe in their data collection for FSD. So I am a long-term bull on Tesla. However, I'm also realistic. This isn't really a place I would want to trade it much. I think if you're going to trade it, you were supposed to be trading it down here in the bottom tick in these areas, the bottom of this kind of range it was forming, or short in the top. But this is kind of a no man's land. It's not really an area that I would be interested in. However, you do see this volume node. You see this kind of forming all the way down to 254 and even here 265. So that's something that could happen. This is a head and shoulders pattern. This is a shoulder. You could also call it a double top. Shoulder, though, I would call this a shoulder, a head, shoulder, break. Neckline would be something like that. You could also call it, it's a lot of different things, to be honest, but also, a form of a wedge. But to me, that's a head and shoulders, and it's breaking down. So I'd anticipate that this box gets touched again. And so now moving on to ABBV. Now this chart is very interesting. This is an interesting chart. All right. This is a chart I like. This is a chart that I do like. I like this name right now a lot better than I like Tesla. And this is my first time looking at this chart here in a while. So I'm going to pop up the Discord name profile picture. They were pointing this one out to me, and yeah, this is quite an interesting setup here. To me, it's pretty much working into this wedge, it looks like, and it's something like this. You could also draw the line. You could draw a line like that, something like that, but it's some sort of falling wedge. I don't know that it's quite ready yet. This looks like a lot of people were long of this name, 132, So that's going to be probably a good area of demand if I had to guess. This area, you know, this 129 or 130 to 133-ish. This looks like, you know, I don't know much about the financials on this company as of right now. Just strictly looking off the chart, looks like it's working into a falling wedge, which is very bullish. Now, and if we zoom out, right, to see if there's an actual probability that this thing, if the probability is higher that this thing breaks up or down, right, we zoom out to see the weekly or the monthly trend. The monthly trend is clearly higher. And you can see this actually back here, right? This was the same pattern that set up and it pushed, you know, a massive move from there. That's a, you know, 200% move. So this thing is setting up. Definitely, this thing is definitely setting up. This is a great chart. I'm a fan of this chart. So that's what I have today, guys. Thank you for watching, viewing, and subscribing. As always, I will be back with more videos. If you guys have any feedback for me, please put them down in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, peace.